Dystopia, episode 30. See you back at the van. Well, I had the mind that I was going to come out here and set up a hammock. Right back there. I was going to set up a hammock and a tarp. That's one place I quite often go here, but as you see, it's underwater. Well, my other spot is back up in there, and I walked back there, came around the corner because I know it's a well-hidden spot. There's somebody else in there. I guess I'm not going to hang today. See you guys later. Hey guys, we're back in the van. I am just going to make a cup of coffee here. I may go out and set up a tarp. We'll see. Right now the weather is pretty iffy. In fact, I got set up for a shot and the rain came. So I had to immediately go running back to get the camera, to get the phone, and get it out of the rain. I was not happy. So you'll get a couple hero shots, a couple walkthroughs, but not a massive amount. Trying to get my stove set up here so we can start heating up some water. And get that ready. By the way, a astute viewer noticed the other day that I was not using the base on the stove. I typically don't with the smaller can or with the larger can, but fair point, I put the base on. With the smaller one, I definitely do. But a lot of it depends on the size of the container. You know, if you're putting a huge heavy pot on top of the smaller canisters, yeah, you definitely want to use the larger, or use the base to make sure it's balanced out. I set up for a walk-through shot. It started raining. Ran back, covered the camera. Rain stopped. Opened the camera back up. Went for a walk. Started to walk back in, started raining again. So yeah, if there's not a lot of walkthroughs today, you'll know why. Yesterday's video seemed to go over pretty good. The feedback I got from 3 viewers was really good. One of them, again, Jim, he liked it, although Jim prefers more, when I talk to the camera, more of the auditory, stationary rather than walking and talking. My vlogger who's been giving me feedback liked a lot of it, although he did make some suggestions for rendering. I'll try those, not today, but the next time I do one that's heavy with a lot of walkthroughs, I'll do a rendering change. I take advantage of the chipset on the motherboard to do the rendering with the GPU, and although it is significantly faster, it leaves a lot of artifacts, which I was wondering. I thought maybe that was just my connection yesterday. He said the artifacts are there even on a high-speed connection. So, yep, it's a learning process. I have not done video editing in quite a few years, heavy editing. So I'm getting back to some of this. I need to relearn it. Move up just a little bit. Try and see where the water's at. Made a slight mistake here when I set it on there. I'll show you in a little bit. When I lifted it, the pot up onto the stove, I didn't notice that I had bumped the little fold-out leg. So I have one leg that's half the length. You might be able to see it. So if you notice that front leg there, this one right up here is folded in half. It's okay, you just got to be mindful of things like that, and I wasn't paying attention, so it's okay. By myself, I don't have to worry about anybody bumping it over. That was the other question, and I thought I had commented on it. It was one of them that went unanswered the other day. Do I use an alcohol stove in the van? No, I don't. I don't use an alcohol stove in the house unless I can contain it, like on top of the stove in a metal tray. So that if there is an alcohol spill, it's contained in a smaller area. Quick shot of baking soda and you're done. In the van, I do not. Mostly because I'm worried about a spill in the van. The alcohol sticks in the fabric. Off she goes. Thought a good bit about buying a gimbal or a stabilizer for the camera. I think I will go ahead and bite the dust and do it. Bite the dust, bite the bullet, and do it. The only decision then is, or the only question then, is what type do I want to use? So maybe now you can get a better view of this. You can notice that the two legs are out and one leg is folded in. That could have been a disastrous mistake, but it's the advantage to being, oh great, now the sun's coming out. But yeah, so the trick with buying the gimbal or the stabilizer is I need to decide which route I want to go. I primarily want to shoot video with a camera, not with a phone. Nothing against the Pixel 3. It's actually I've been fairly happy with the output, particularly on the rear-facing camera, not on the front-facing. The selfie camera is less than spectacular. However, the rear-facing camera, as you saw with some of the video yesterday, the quality really shines. But again, I would prefer to do it with a proper camera. So now the question is, what camera and what gimbal, or what stabilizer, gyroscopic stabilizer? Ideally, I want to continue to use my Lumix. I really like that thing. I like the ease of use. I like how well everything flows with it. The software is very good. It's just a really good camera. The video quality is the same because there's only one camera, so it doesn't matter which way you face it. It's just turning it around for selfie mode. It can be a bit daunting weight-wise, handheld. So that's something I need to look at and figure out what way I need to go gimbal-wise. There's a lot of options in that market space. I'm tending to lean more towards DJI, mainly due to cost. The GSI is much less expensive than a lot of them, and DJI also has more, I want to say more experience. However, there are plenty of them that come out of the film industry that are very good and very expensive. You pay for, you get what you pay for. Same with everything else, but yeah, so that's a route I need to look at, is how much do I want to do as an upfront investment? How much is a long-term investment? I don't do this as a business, so there's no tax write-off. Yeah, so I'll figure it out. Oh, yeah. It's nice to have a cup of coffee. Lights. Somebody asked me again what I do for lights in the van. It's either the Lucy light, that solar lamp that I talked about. Please turn it on. The Lucy actually provides really good light at night in this van. This little light lights up the van fairly well. Put that back up there. I've got it up there in the, trying to get some charge off of it. Like right now, my side lighting is again the little, I always forget this brand, Nightcore. LR10. It is simply stuck up there on the magnet. Yeah, there's a lot of light sources in here. Another option is this little one that runs off a USB plug, which plugs in behind you guys. I have a charging port there in the back of the van. 2 charging ports, actually. I talked about that one time already. I'm going to add an additional 4 to the panel behind you guys, like I showed you. If it's a night where I have the windows open and a little bit of extra gas, I can also use the little flame from Snow Peak as I get it up there so you can see it, which I've showed you this before. Plain old flashlights. There's a lot of different ways to light up the van. Again, it's small, so you don't need a lot of light, and I also have the overhead light in the van, as long as I don't mind chewing on the vehicle battery. Yeah, I talked about that, having a separate house battery. Last night, while watching videos on YouTube, I also noticed something that gave me an idea. I don't want to pull the seats out of the van, the back seats. I really had thought about it. However, the van tends to haul people. It tends to haul, like in a week or so, I'm going to have to go pick up some rock and some wood chips to go around the plants outside. So I'll need the room in here. So fold the seats down, throw the carpet in it, and throw everything on top of it. Makes a nice stable platform. But I'm also kind of leaning towards taking out the seats. Last night I was thinking about making a module that can slide in and out of the van. The van is actually 4 feet by 6.5 feet in the back on the floor. So I could make a module that slides in and out with proper shelves in front of the windows, little sink at the front door or the back door, depending on, or the side door or the back door, depending on how I want to do it. So essentially I'm making a wooden deck with upright shelves and a small counter on each side. Yeah, there's a lot of ideas. I don't know why that popped in my head, but I was just thinking I could make it. It would have an integrated rod holder on the top, so I wouldn't need this. I could just make it so that it goes all the way up to the front and follows this roof shape that you can see right here, where it's flat, goes over, flattens out again. Slide the whole thing in with a built-in rod holder on the top. Again, shelving, place to cook, a little bit of lockable storage. But I don't know. I'll doodle it out and see if I think it'll work, or maybe somebody else has done one. I found in Googling after I thought about it where somebody has done it for the small Nissan van. I forgot the model name of that one, but he does have a module. The shelves and cabinet on each side are actually hinged with a lock pin, so when he running this way in the van, front to back, he undoes the lock pin and hinges the cabinets down onto the deck. Same thing with his front pillar. Unbolts a couple turnbuckles that are at shackles. There are shackles in the van for cargo. Even in this version, they have the shackles. But then he just folds it out, slides the entire thing out. He and his wife can pick it up and take it out of the van. So there's some ideas to be drawn from that one. But the way I'm looking at it today, I was even kind of sitting back here before I started filming, thinking about it, is I lose probably about 1.5 inches of floor space. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're at 4 feet wide, 1.5 inches makes a big difference. So we will have to think about it and go from there. All right, guys, I'm going to stop, enjoy my coffee, eat my lunch, and all right, so that's it for today. You guys be good, be well.